Ginger Twinsies review. Is the Off-Broadway Parent Trap parody worth seeing? Are you ready to dive into the world of theatrical satire? Ginger Twinsies, an off-Broadway parody of the beloved 1998 Disney classic The Parent Trap, has opened its doors at the Orpheum Theatre. But here's where it gets controversial. How does a modern adaptation of a nostalgic film fare in today's theater scene? Let's explore what critics are saying about this comedic take on family drama. Directed and written by Kevin Zak, Ginger Twinsies is set to run until October 26th. The cast includes Russell Daniels and Aneesa Folds as the twin leads Annie and Hallie, respectively. Jamie Ray Bennett as Martin, Grace Ryder as Chessie, Philip Taratula as Meredith Blake, Matthew Wilkes as Nick, Mitch Wood as Lizard, and Lakeisha May as Elizabeth James. The talented ensemble, rounded out by understudies Casey Weiland, Mike Levinson, and Omalade Way, is brought together by casting director Xavier Rubiano from the TRC Company. Now, let's delve into the critical reception. Culture Sauce's Tom Geyer offers a lively critique, praising the show's comedic elements while noting areas for improvement. Meanwhile, Johnny Oleksinski from the New York Post describes Ginger Twinsies as millennial catnip, suggesting it's a hit among younger audiences. David Finkel of New York Stage Review, however, finds the parody not so gingerly achieved, implying that the humor might fall flat for some viewers. Austin Famano from New York Theater Guide provides a balanced review, highlighting both strengths and weaknesses. Dan Rubens of TheaterMania, on the other hand, questions whether the show delivers enough laughs to justify its premise, wondering if the spoof lacks a substantial payoff. Ron Fassler from Theater Kazaz, however, sees insane comedy abounding, indicating that the play successfully captures the spirit of its source material with a fresh twist. Lastly, Joey Sins from Theaterly commends the show for bringing laughter to the East Village this summer, emphasizing its appeal to theatergoers looking for a lighthearted evening out. For those unfamiliar with the original, The Parent Trap is a remake of a 1961 film, telling the story of two identical twins separated at birth who reunite at a summer camp and devise a plan to bring their estranged parents back together. The 1998 version starred Lindsay Lohan, Natasha Richardson, and Aaron Mackey, launching Lohan's successful acting career. In terms of production values, Ginger Twinsies boasts scenic design by Beowulf Boritt, costumes by Wilbert Gonzalez, lighting by Bradley King, sound by Joshua D. Reed, and movement direction by Jesse Robb. The stage management team includes Sarah Sahin, Steve Rosenberg, and Bethany Weinstein Stewart, under the general management of Baseline Theatrical. The production is a collaborative effort, with Preston Whiteway, Jenny Steingart, Mamie Hackett, Elaine Hendricks, Busy Phillips, and Thomas Cale serving as producers, and Andy Jones as executive producer. So, what do you think? Is Ginger Twinsies a must-see for fans of both The Parent Trap and comedic theater? Or does it fall short of expectations? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Ginger Twinsies, a hilarious spoof of The Parent Trap, in a bold move that's turning heads and raising eyebrows. Kevin Zak's latest brainchild, Ginger Twinsies, is making waves as a spoof of the beloved Nancy Meyers-directed The Parent Trap, 1998. But here's where it gets controversial. The play is also being promoted as a cheeky jab at Mark Waters' Freaky Friday, 2003. A move that's sure to stir up some passionate discussions among fans of the original films. And this is the part most people miss. The playwright's bio is an in-joke, a clever nod to the showbiz insiders and a way to make the audience feel like they're part of an exclusive club. If you're not familiar with Kevin Zak, don't worry, you're not alone. His bio, however, is a playful mystery, identifying him as an actress nominated for a Tony this season for a role in Death Becomes Her. But wait, there's a twist. The bio is actually a gag, a nod to Megan Hilty, who played the roles mentioned in an earlier production. It's a clever homage that adds a layer of depth to the play, inviting the audience to join in on the fun. The play itself is a wild ride, a comedy that unfolds over a lengthy 80 minutes on a stunning set designed by Beowulf Boritt, complete with 4 doors that signal the farcical nature of the play. The plot revolves around Annie James, played by Russell Daniels, and Hallie Parker, played by Aneesa Folds, who discover they are red-headed twins separated at birth. The casting is notable, as jokes about race are sprinkled throughout the play, adding a layer of complexity to the humor. The twins, eager to meet the biological parent they've never known, decide to switch places, leading to a series of mistaken identity situations that are both hilarious and poignant. The play is directed by Zak himself, who seems to have a clear vision of what he wants to achieve. The cast is energetic, delivering their lines with gusto, although at times the rapid-fire delivery can make it hard to catch all the jokes. One of the most memorable moments in the play is when Annie, trying to master American English, runs through a lock-her-up exercise. A nod to the current political climate. Zak's reliance on the F word to get laughs is a cheap trick, but it does elicit a response from the audience. The most complicated plot twist involves Meredith Blake, played by Philip Tarutula, who is determined to marry Annie's dad and will stop at nothing to achieve her goal. Her relentless scheming forms a subplot that grows in significance, adding another layer of intrigue to the play. From start to finish, Ginger Twinsies is a non-stop roller coaster of laughter and surprises, directed with a clear vision by Zak. The actors deliver their lines with energy and enthusiasm, although there is a concern that the demands of the play could take a toll on their vocal cords. Ginger Twinsies opened on July 24th, 2025 at the Orpheum Theatre, and tickets and information can be found at gingertwinsies.com. David Finkel, a freelance journalist specializing in the arts and politics, has reviewed theater for several decades for publications including The Village Voice and TheaterMania.com, where he was chief drama critic for 12 years. He is currently chief drama critic at the Clyde Fitch Report. For an archive of older reviews, visit https://www.huffingtonpost.com/author/David Finkel. Email david@nystagereview.com.